Hi everyone, we're learning about pet heroes this week. Do you know there are several animals that have saved lives of people? We read about one in our story earlier this week, The Eternal Soldier. You can listen to me read the entire book there. And here I'd just like to point out a couple. Usually we think of dogs as pet heroes, but there are other animals that have saved lives. I just wanted to point out a few to you. Here's a bunny rabbit called Rabbit, who saved his owner from smoke when the house was on fire. You can read more of the details later. Here's one that's a horse called Patty, who also saved her owner from a brush fire. But not only dogs, but pigs can save lives. When his owner was having a heart attack, this pig Lulu saved his owner's life. This parrot could say words that saved the life of a baby who was choking. And then here's a cat named Winnie, who woke her owner up when they smelled some poison, monoxide, in the house. And of course, we always like to think of our police dogs who are very brave. This one, Buddy, was a German Shepherd dog who answered some 911 calls with their owners. So you can be proud of some of our pet heroes and choose one to make out of our clay today. But today I'm just going to show you how to make a dog, like in our story, The Eternal Soldier. So let's look at our craft. I have a pack of Model Magic for everyone. You can pick up at the library in your packet. It's white, but when it dries, you'll be able to color it any color you'd like if you have markers at home or paint that you like to use. Let's go ahead and break off a little bit of clay for our body. I have a little bit of water here. We might need that later to like a glue. I have a toothpick for holding the head on later, and also a knife if you want to use that to cut your clay. It's very soft and squishy, so you can cut it into smaller pieces. Okay, I'm going to make a small dog. So I'm going to start by just making sort of a round oval shape, almost the size of an egg. This is going to be the body of my dog. You can see how he's sitting up straight and tall. Next, I'm going to put his legs on. So for this, I need some smaller pieces. We've made worms and things before. Let's roll it out and make some legs. We need maybe 2 front legs, and then we need some back legs, which should be a little bit shorter. Let's start with the back legs. Don't make them too long. And in order to put them on here, you squish them on the side and then dip my finger into the water and sort of smooth out the back so it'll be flat against his bottom, his hunches. All right, then the other side has a leg that he'll be sitting on. We can smooth that out a little bit with our water. And like I said, it'll act like a little bit of a glue to make it stick together later when it dries. So these are the legs that he'll be sitting down on. These other 2 will be holding him up, like in our picture here that he's standing on up front. So let's put those in front of his body, like so. And here we can smooth it on to his shoulder a little bit. As much as you can so you can't see the crease as much. Then we have another leg for the other side right in front of his bottom leg. And he can be touching the floor a little bit or the table. And then we'll smooth out his shoulder. All right. Most dogs have tails. Let's see if we can make a tail. Need a smaller piece. Cut off a little tiny piece and maybe roll it out to a point for his tail. Depending how long you want it to be, you can cut it and then put it right there on his back. You can curl it around however you like it to be shaped. Made mine a little bit curly. And then smooth it out and make sure it's sticking tight to the other part of his body. All right, so far We have his body, now we need his head. So the other piece I've used here, notice I have a lot left over for more animals, but I'm just gonna make a small dog head. This will be, I think, more like a ball. So roll it around and around as much as you can, make it look like a ball. Now, I'm gonna squeeze a little bit in the front just to make it stick out like a nose. So it'll be a little bit smaller on one side. And maybe even rub a little place where his eyes will be. You can color later with a marker where his eyes are. And then maybe pinch a little bit for his nose. I'm going to use my knife to give a little bit of texture where his mouth might be. Make a little cut, not too far in, where he might be smiling or sticking his tongue out. Okay, now this is where I'm using the toothpick. This will be his neck, but we won't be able to see it once we put it into his body. Maybe it's easier to put it into his body first. Let's push it down to the top of the body as far as we can, but still sticking out so that now we can put the head right on top. This will hold it from falling off. Might even be able to turn his head. Right, last thing for his head, we need our ears. I have a little piece here, you can pinch off a little piece. Our dog here does not have big ears, but you can make your ears as floppy as you want to. I cut 2 little pieces, make them a little flat like a pancake, or pointy if you want. And of course the ears will go right on the side of his head. A little bit of water, I'll smooth them down. See, our dog has little ears. Another little pancake shape, maybe with a point, depending on what kind of dog you have. On the other side of his head, a little bit of water, smooth out the top, make it stick. And then you can fold the ear up however you want it to be listening. Sometimes dogs stick up their ears when they're listening. This one, his ears are down. All right. So now we have the basic form for our dog. You will let it dry completely before you can actually color it. And then you can make him brown or black or spotted, however you'd like him to be with little eyeballs. I hope that was a little bit of a challenge for you to try to make a dog with me. It's my first time ever too. So you experiment, try different animals. Like I said, there are all kinds of pet heroes, and we can remember them with our sculptures and share with people the stories we've learned about how animals can save lives.